Welcome to another episode of Chalk Talk, and today we have a very special guest. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Let's go.
Ryan brings the ball back down, and now down he goes. Godchaux.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out.
Welcome to another episode of Chalk Talk, and today we have a very special guest, my good friend, my head coach, Jerod Mayo. Welcome on the show.
I appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. I know this kind of was a reach to get this one. You're busy, time for crunch time, getting ready for the first game of the season. But I'm glad to have you on here. I want to start with, the first question. What is it like being the first African-American coach for the New England Patriots, the 15th head coach for the New England Patriots?
It's been great. The first couple of weeks it was, there was a lot going on. It was like drinking from a fire hydrant. But, over the last, I would say, couple of months, it's been going the way that I thought it would. Now, in saying that, I have a lot to learn, and each week is its own week, and that's my focus going forward.
Do you feel being a head coach? I know a lot of people, when they be position coach, you have to turn your head and put that head coach hat on. Do you feel you have to, earn the trust of 53 men on the roster each and every week?
Honestly, what I try to do is take the culture that you were a part of defensively and really spread that amongst the rest of the team and the organization. Even defensively last year, we had offensive players coming in our meetings sometimes. And I think with this generation of players, it's first, showing the individual that you care about their growth and development before anything else. And, we're all competent as coaches as far as X's and O's are concerned, but we've all had coaches that we run through a brick wall for, and we've also had those coaches where it's like, yeah, forget that. And so that's always the balance.
Yeah.
And when you talk about trying to change a culture, it takes time, and really your culture becomes what you reward. And even having you back, it's been great, and I think the guys see that, just like signing Big Mike back. I think, guys that, guys that do it, Peppers, all those
Peppers,
guys.
big time.
Yeah, guys that do it the right way.
Yep.
And so when you talk about building a culture, I think that's part of it.
And I think, no doubt in my mind, me just being in the locker room, like all those guys trust you, all those guys are running to a brick wall behind you, including myself, just having the culture of you playing football, knowing how it's done, and then coming out to mentoring us each and every day to do the right thing. But another thing I want to jump into, this podcast is, a bit about fashion. We want to talk about swag. I see you got some drip.
Little bit.
You got some drip for a head coach. For sure you got some drip. I want to ask you, everybody talk about, Mike McDaniel down in Miami. He wear off-white shoes on the sideline. What's kind of going to be your game day drip during the sideline days for the New England Patriots?
Even being a position coach, I've always been a huge Nike Jordan guy. So it's foam posits or it's Jordans. Yeah. It's foam posits or it's Jordans.
Very swaggy. First round 2008.
Hey, 2008. Doesn't matter. Hey, back then, I was a Nike athlete, so I was buying shoes for today. Think about it. I retired
Nike
in 2000.
Elite. Nike Elite.
I retired in 2015. I was like, I got to use all this money up because if you don't, you lose it. Yeah, and so I'm still kind of open to some of those boxes, but it's been great. I'm definitely top 5 though. I'll be honest with you.
I think you're a top 5. Do you think you're going to be a top 5?
No,
when it comes to swag, I know Jerod Mill's going to be calling plays dialing up, but do you think you're going to be a top 5 head coach when it comes to swag?
Absolutely.
Jerod Mill's going to be a top 5 head coach when it comes to swag. Another topic I want to talk about, you was an actor. You acted in the Three Stooges. You was an actor. We saw your clip. You was a Rookie of the Year for the Patriots in 2008. Congrats to that. Holding a high standard, building a high standard to today's day. But I want to ask you, when it comes to, I know you was a big finance guy. A lot of people say you was very smart in finance. You wowed a lot of people when it came to finance. What would you recommend guys, doing investments? You always hear about 2 to 3 years after the league, guys going broke.
That's right.
Guys, not handling money correct. What would you recommend for guys to do investment? I know me and you got a couple of business partners. We know the same people, but would you recommend guys investing now or wait until they're done after the league?
I think you do have to get into investing at an early stage. Now, in saying that, how active you are is, it's each individual has their own, flavor for that. I will say, during the season, it's all about football. Even now, for me, like during the season, it's all about football. The off season, that's the time where instead of going home playing PlayStation and Xbox, you go out and try to really, make these relationships, and whether it's in business or real estate, whatever it is. And I always tell the guys, look, take advice from people that you would switch places with right now. You know, I'm not going to.
Access.
That's right. You know, you got guys on the street trying to tell you about what to invest your money in here and there. Like that's just not smart.
A lot of people always.
That's right. What I would also say is most of the time, and I saw this early on in my career, where you know, guys really wouldn't get into that next step until after they retired. Now, I encourage you guys, you know, during the summertime, while your name still rings bells, try to open up those doors right now. Once you're done, you've already established those relationships, and to me that's always a huge piece of it. And people can say, you know, this guy's the smartest in the world. This guy, look, it's about relationships. It's about connecting people and providing value for that person, and that person in return providing value for you. So it is mainly about relationships. And so when you talk about early stage deals, look, they're hard to get into, but once again, if you have a relationship with people who have access, that's the hardest thing, is the access to these types of deals, then you know you'll be set.
What do you see? I know we talk about, you know, you did acting, you did finance. What do you see after the game of football? I mean, you coach right now, you're early on in your coaching career. What do you see life for, I mean, because you're still young, what do you see life for Jerod Mayo after coaching is done?
Yeah, for me, my North Star has always been developing people and challenging myself. So played football, all that stuff. I felt like we did a good job with the next wave, the High Towers of the world and all those guys. Then I went and worked for United Health Group and Optum and all that stuff. And that was more just to challenge myself and also see what principles I can learn in business that I can apply to
being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
That's right. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because if you don't, you'll be the same.
You'll never grow.
You'll never grow. And it's very easy for people to say, I'm not going to do that. I got money in the bank. I don't need to do that. But I'm just telling you from
challenge yourself.
That's right. You got to challenge yourself on a day-to-day basis. And this is why I always talk about the cold showers in the morning.
He takes cold showers in the morning. Jerod Mayo takes cold showers in the morning, by the way.
It's not that I like cold showers, though. For me, it's about, you know, naturally as humans, our minds are always going to take us on the path of least resistance. Absolutely. And for me, waking up in the morning, taking a cold shower, having to make the choice to be uncomfortable first thing in the morning, that carries over into the rest of my day. And that's why I encourage you guys to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when it's after practice and, you know, guys are tired, Jerod Mayo, go to the hill, let's run some sprints. You know, it's not to be an a-hole, but it's more so about to challenge yourself and push your body. So I appreciate you on that, even though sometimes you're like, man, we don't feel like doing that, but it's going to make us a better team.
That's right.
And make us better individuals.
That's right.
So one last thing I want to talk about before we end this. You know, I saw a stat the other day. They had 15 African-American quarterbacks going to be starting in week 1. You know, we have one on our team with Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
How do you feel about that from your playing time? I know you played back in the day with Tom till today's day. You know, you had Michael Vick, you had, you know, Dante Culpepper, McNabb, a couple guys, but it wasn't, I don't think it was 15 NFL starting quarterbacks back in your day. So now that we have that, how do you feel about that, and, you know, how you think the game has changed?
Yeah, it definitely shows growth. What I would say is the game has changed with the extended plays. And so however you want to say black, white quarterback, it's are you a dual threat? And I'm not talking about Michael Vick type, you know, running down the field. I'm talking about just extending plays. Yeah. If you have that skill set, to me, that's the most important thing. But it's definitely encouraging seeing, you know, other quarterbacks getting opportunities. And it doesn't start here in the league. It starts at the younger age, and you're starting to see that kind of creep into our world.
Well, man, you know, we're not going to keep much of your time. I know you got to get the staff meetings. You got a big week this week. We have a big week this week.
Exactly. We have. I
want to thank you for being on Chalk Talk episode 16. I want to thank you, appreciate you for, you know, taking your time out to be on here, and can't wait for an exciting season for both of us.
All love, bro.
Thank you. But before we go, I got a gift for you. We're going to give you a bottle of Pinot Noir wine. You know, drink it after the season, off season. We'll drink it. We'll celebrate it. But thank you for being on the show, man. Appreciate
you, BG. Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chalk Talk. Just had my good friend Jerod Mayo on there. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. See you on the next episode. Peace.